Welcome back to part 3, where we explore the approach we take when bringing our contact to an end. Throughout our contact with people, it's very important that we keep the end in sight and we regularly talk about it. Keep in mind also at all times the principles of our approach, the skills we use in our conversations, and the overall outcome the person is seeking to achieve. Hopefully we've built a relationship with a person or family or group, and we have noticed them adjust and change and gain more control over their situation. We are glad that we've been able to assist them by taking an approach that helps them build on their skills, their resilience and their relationship, a formula that will sustain them in the future. We are glad that our role has been useful, helpful to them. But talk to them about what they have done to manage and cope. Talk to them about how things will be in the future when they achieve their outcome. Think about exploring questions. And remember, when you ask a question, always listen hard and try to understand. You might ask, what's working well at the moment? Or, what are you most pleased about? Or what's still difficult to manage? Or when you feel like that, what do you do? Or what have you noticed about your mood this week? How are you managing the ups and downs? Remember, you've already agreed with them intervals when you will take stock and discuss progress. Make sure you have these conversations, however informally. So you might hear yourself saying, remember at the beginning we agreed it would be helpful to check out from time to time how things are going. What are your thoughts? How are things for you? Remember, you're keen that your help leads people to feel more in control of their situation. Because of the approach you've taken throughout, they will have a keen sense of their own strengths and abilities and the power of what's important to them. They will be less dependent on you and more aware of what they can do for themselves and others. Endings are a measure of success rather than a moment for panic or anxiety on either side. When outcomes have been achieved, agree a time to meet. If you can't meet, agree a time when you can talk things through. Share thoughts and insights. Share moments together. Summarize all that people have come through, with proper attention to the challenges they faced and the strengths they used to get through to this moment. Include all the important people who you've met along the way. These can be light and pleasant discussions, full of real depth and insight. Finally ask, what do you think are the most important things to carry on doing from here? But you might also want to ask, what challenges might crop up in the future? What would you do if that happened? This last question might feel a bit strange to you, like taking a step back somehow. However, it's very important for people to talk about future worries as well as current achievements, to hear themselves talk about how they would manage those challenges if they arose, what they would do and who they would talk to. It's the same principle. It leaves people in the driving seat with a clear set of actions that they can take should that problem occur. So this is the moment to summarize and close. But the door may not be firmly closed. They can contact you if they need to. However, dependency has been avoided, and you've set the parameters for good closure for them and for you. Your input has had a clear, thoughtful beginning, middle, and end. So just to consider, finally, some of the what-if questions that might arise for you along the way. There may be moments that worry or concern you. Your organisation will have guidance on a range of issues you may come across, but here are a few tips. What if the risks seem too high? The more you get to know people and the better your relationship is, you will know more about not only their strengths, but also the risks they face. If you are concerned, where possible, first talk to the person themselves. Make sure you understand their views. And say to them, that sounds really scary. What do you do when that happens? Who do you trust? Who do you talk to? For yourself, establish a link in your host organisation, someone you can talk things through with confidentiality. Remember, when you're talking to them about risks, you should always include what you know also about how people manage their risks, because these actions represent the strengths that offset the risk. So some examples might include you describing to the person, you've fallen a few times, but you have a system to let your neighbour know. Or, you get very low sometimes, but you have a close friend you can ring. She's always there for you. Or, you get really angry sometimes, but you manage to leave the house and go for a walk until you calm down. When we listen to the challenges people face and the situations that they're in, it's important for us to stay calm, to talk to the person, and as the worker also to talk to someone you trust. Talk about if the management plan is working and keep an eye on it. But if the risks are too high and no risk management plan seems possible, then reach an agreement about what to do next. Another what if. What if it's difficult to communicate with the person? Sometimes you might be supporting very young children, or youngsters with communication difficulties, or older people living with dementia. So you need to think hard about how they get their thoughts and feelings across. Notice what makes them anxious or upset. Notice what makes them peaceful and calm, sad or happy. Ask the people who know, family and friends. You might be concerned about what if they don't want to see me. Sometimes people may be anxious, frightened, uncomfortable or wary of your help. If they reject your help, try sending them a message. Try and include some thoughts you have about how they might be feeling. Here's an example. Dear John, I called to see you today. Sorry to miss you. It must feel difficult having people coming into your home. I know things haven't been easy for you lately. I would be really happy to have a chat and see if we can help at all. I will call next Thursday at 3 p.m, just in case. Or if you prefer, you can phone me on the number below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Sometimes just that general human contact can help people feel less fearful and allow them to let you in. When people seem cautious or defensive, be patient. None of us feel entirely comfortable talking about our personal issues before we know and trust the other person. People can put on armour. We all do it to protect ourselves. This armour might take a number of forms. Not opening up, refusing to be open about issues, being angry or appearing aggressive, pretending it doesn't matter to them, or agreeing with everything you say. Remember, listen hard and try to understand. Let people know what you've understood about the challenges they face, the strengths they have, and the things they care about, and gradually the armour may reduce. Be patient. Don't push or persuade. It's more important to listen and try to understand. This video has been designed to support a wide range of volunteers and workers supporting the public at times of stress and challenge. It describes the structure for your conversations that have a beginning, a middle, and an end to every effort you commit to helping others. Thank you for all you do. I hope this has helped.